modern sculpture was built in the middle of the mountain to pay homage to the men and women from Santander, whose courage and bravery were the leading roles of the most important historical event in the time of the Spanish colonization, the Revolution of the Commoners. The commoners were peasants who inhabited this area during the Spanish colonial era, the mid-18th century. And because of the difficult social and economic policies that they were living in, they were forced to start a protest against the decisions made by the Spanish royal audience, based on the actions of raising taxes to help sustain a war that existed between Spain and England. To motivate the community against these measures, leaders began to spread their ideas. They initiated a march to the capital of the colony, including Jose Antonio Galan, who later became known for his heroism and bravery. This historic moment was the foundation for the creation of the Santandereanidad Monument. The platform holding the sculptures represents a tobacco leaf, a symbol of the economy of this region at that time, and its location points towards the people of Socorro, where this entire episode occurred. The metaphorical explosion shown in the center of the monument and the 35 accompanying figures that stand there represent the turning point of the revolution. In the center, in the middle of the stems, is the brave woman Manuela Beltran, who tore down the edict published with the new taxes on March 16, 1781, a public market day in the beautiful town of Socorro. Thus was launched the Revolution of the Commoners, with the symbolic force that operates a volcano in the mountain, which is represented by the stems and stones with lights shooting into the sky. At one end of the road, sitting on a chair with a pen and paper in his hands, is the Dominican monk Fray Ciriaco of Archer, who supported the revolutionaries in their protest. He wrote messages related to the revolution so that the community members could read them and pass them on to each other, so that everyone would know about these events. These messages contain requests from the villagers to the Spanish government. After the protest in the town of Socorro, villagers marched on the capital of the colony, armed with sticks and stones. The oxen represent the march carrying a ceremonial cup, the symbol of Guani culture. On the second horse, with his sword, the leader, Jose Antonio Galan, leads the way. But near the capital, in Cundinamarca, Zipaquirá, the commoners were founded by a negotiating committee headed by the Spanish viceroy and Archbishop Antonio Caballero y Góngora. The Archbishop, using lies and trickery, managed to convince farmers to return to their homes, promising to solve their problems, and also signed a treaty of capitulation with the leaders of the protest. But the promises were not kept, and the villagers were betrayed. This act is represented at the other end of the leaf with the sculpture of the Archbishop, carrying in his right hand an axe that represents a king, a mask on his face that represents his lying, and standing on a coffer that represents the ambition. After the betrayal, Jose Antonio Galan was captured and sentenced to death. According to Spanish law at that time, He was quartered, and his head, arms, and legs were displayed in the Socorro region. Monumento, and Guadua from Dinamarca for the community to observe, warning everyone to desist protesting and what would happen if they were caught. The monument to the Santanderanidad was constructed during the government of Dr. Hugo Heliodoro Aguilar Naranjo, designed and developed by sculptor Luis Guillermo Vallejo Vargas.
Bienvenidos al Monumento a la Santanderianidad. Esta moderna escultura fue construida en medio de la montaña